So this has evolved to be an Epipremnum corner. It wasn't really intentional, but I do like the look of it now. It's looking really lush. I actually want to trim this back and get some propagations. But before I do that, I want to show you guys how this little corner has evolved. And zero into some of the species here. You can take a look in detail. Let's look at the one that has been growing really vigorously since I first got it a few years ago. This is actually, okay, there are several pots here. This is the Epipremnum aureum, supposedly Snow Queen. When I first got the original parent plant, the variegation, the leaves are really white. I do not know why now they are looking very yellow. The variegation has kind of turned into, it's looking more like a regular marble queen. So the original one died and I managed to save a single or two leaf cutting, a really small cutting. And since then it has grown into all this. Alright, there are actually 3 pots here. There's one pot here, here, and there's this third one, which is the bushiest one. Yeah, the variegation is really beautiful, really marbly. Of course, we have some leaves that are green and variegated, kind of like a half-half, like this one. And this one has sent out a new vine, crawling all the way here together with the Cebu blue. No, this is a Hoya, but yeah, it has grown all the way. From here, you can see there are some over here and started crawling all the way on this balcony floor. So yeah, I need to cut this off. But meanwhile, look at this. I'm supposed to get rid of some of them or at least sell them off, but I can't bear to because it really creates this really lush look. Alright, the next one we'll be looking at is this Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blue. I think the leaves have gotten bigger and looking really healthy. I'm not sure whether can you see the sheen of blue from the screen, but it's looking really silvery with a slight tinge of blue. Yeah, let me try to tilt the camera. Even a pour previously, I was hoping that it will grow big and give out some fenestrations. So these are definitely not mature leaves. The mature ones are fenestrated, but it's still pretty decent size, and I really like the texture on the leaves as well. And this has outgrown the moss pole. There's one non-vine that started crawling on the balcony. As you can see, that's the Cebu blue. Let me try to zero in. Yeah, this one. And it's almost hitting the wall, so this needs to be cut as well. And from the back, he has thrown out another vine all the way here and down here. Okay, this leaf has this little fenestration, but it's not getting enough light here, so the leaves are really small. And this is going underneath the plant shelf, so I need to tidy this up as well. This is a different angle. So I really love the look of this, how the leaves are cascading down, giving it a really nice look. Oh, and there are some cuttings here as well. There's a pot here, and another one in sphagnum moss. Let me bring this out. This is only in moss, but it has started trailing down. So this is a different look. Okay, I really need to start selling these cuttings. Alright, the next pot of pothos I'll be talking about is this one, which I'm not quite sure what ID is this. I think it's the regular golden pothos. because look, this variegation is very yellow. It wasn't always like this. This is actually a rescue plant. Somebody gave it to me when it was still propagating in water. It is still in water actually, together with this Pothos and joint cuttings. So this golden Pothos doesn't always look like this. When I first got it, the leaves were really faded looking, very pale. I'm not sure whether do I have a photo of it, but since I placed this here, it receives a lot of nice bright light. The colors actually deepened and became more intense. Look at this. And strangely, these were the original leaves, I think, not new leaves, and somehow the colors changed. Okay, a good example is this one. This was the original color of the leaf. This could be new leaves, I'm not sure. This is very faded, very pale looking. Yeah, but the newer leaves are looking really intense. And even in water, it has thrown out new vines like this one and started crawling on the balcony. Yeah, this is the newer leaves. So I think the bright light actually benefited this Pothos. And there's another small vine that's coming out here. And together with this pot, also like I mentioned, enjoy cuttings. This is the original color of the golden Pothos. Compare this and this one. It's totally different. So since these cuttings are in water, I need to pot them up really soon before the roots start to disintegrate. And then to the left, I have this Epipremnum aplicimum. This is a different species, and yeah, it looks pretty different from the rest of the Epipremnum as well. It has these really long leaves. I grew this from a stump. It was almost leafless. I forgot about it. I didn't water, so yeah, but this is really resilient. It started growing new leaves as I pay more attention to it. This is actually the silver variety, but it has lost all its silver streaks. If you look closely, maybe you can see some on the leaves, but it's not as intense as before. I've given it a moss pole and it's starting to be happier. So these are the newer leaves. And yeah, there's a new leaf that's coming out here. This doesn't like to dry out, so I have to water this really quite frequently, especially is in this terracotta pot. If not, the leaves will start to curl up. So this is a very unusual looking Epipremnum, which I really like, even though it's green. Maybe I can zero into some of the leaves. Can you see the silver streaks here? Very mild. So this is Epipremnum aplicimum. Right, the next one I have is the one with the biggest leaf. I think this was a top cutting that was sold to me. The colors are really intense. This species is known as the Sunburst, Epipremnum pinnatum sunburst. It looks like some giant Pothos, but it has fenestrations, so it's really nice. Look at these leaves. And since then, I think it was like a 3 or 4 leaf cutting when I first got it a few months ago. And since then, it has given me a few new leaves. Like this is new. This is definitely very new. Wow, this looks really yellow on screen. And this is a new one as well. So I think the new leaf will come out pretty yellow and then fade to a creamy kind of white variegation. As you notice, the newer leaves are without fenestration, so I will need to give this a pull really soon for it to climb. It looks as if it's ready to be pulled up. Yeah, look at all the arrow roots here. Yeah, this is really beautiful. I believe once it starts to climb, the leaves will get much bigger. I'm really excited of the potential, how big the original leaves are, and the beautiful fenestrations. This is actually also a new leaf. So yeah, more planchos are coming up. And finally, my marble cane. This is by Epipremnum pinnatum. I just had a video previously on the propagation update, so you can check out that video. So this is the one that's on the plank, crawling and growing out of the plank. The coloration is really white compared to the other varieties. And of course, this is a pinnatum, so it has fenestrations as well. So this one is growing out of the plank all the way here, and it's starting to trail downwards. The leaves are getting smaller. So again, I need to propagate this as well after the video. And I have some other cuttings here. There's a pot of cuttings here. And another pot here. So these leaves are smaller with a combination of greener ones too. So it's good to actually put it up a pole or a plank so that the leaves can grow out bigger. Alright, so this is my Epipremnum or Pothos corner. I definitely need to trim it back because it's crawling all over and here. So even though they are very common genus of plants, they can be really beautiful, as you can see. If properly styled, I think they can make beautiful filler plants as well. And of course, very gorgeous in their own right. So thank you for watching this episode. I hope you have enjoyed this. I want to update my plant growth more regularly, so do stay tuned and subscribe to my channel if you like contents like that. Meanwhile, stay safe. I'll see you guys in my next episode. And remember to show your plants some love.